A chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright. Words of inspiration, jokes to make you smile. Come relax and chat with Glendora for a while.
Hi folks, a chat with the Glendora exists for one reason: to remind all of us, when all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you treat others. And my friend Amy here, she says that very well. Would you say it, Amy?
When all is said and done, the only thing that matters is how you treat others.
And we wish to thank James Shulman and his wife Jackie and the editor of a newspaper in Berkshire County, Massachusetts, called the Berkshire Eagle, which is located in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, for the cheer that they're trying to bring you. They're trying to cheer you up with this article in the newspaper on February 14th, Valentine's Day, wasn't it, Amy?
I think so.
Yeah, it was on Saturday. Am I holding it right, Amy?
Yeah.
Can you see it okay?
Yeah. It says the Berkshire Eagle Weekender. And in the top left corner, there's a picture of a little TV. And on that TV is Glendora on Satellite 6. You want to bring it a little bit closer so that people can see the...
Sure, I can bring it as close as you want. Is that good?
Yeah. Just so people can see the TV in the corner.
You want me to bring it closer, honey?
Nope, right there's good. Okay.
Oh, are we done with this page?
Yeah, the rest of it talks about superintendents in Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
All right, honey. Pass me the second page.
Alright, this one was taken by Jim Shulman himself. And then the smaller photo is also a picture of Glendora on Satellite 6. Here.
Would you show me how to hold it, hon?
Just like that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's good?
Yeah.
Tell me again what it is, please.
Well, the bigger picture is a picture of you that Jim Shulman took himself. And it says, at the top of the page, it says, a conversation with Glendora. And then the smaller picture that's in the article is a picture of you on Satellite 6. You want to pull your hands out a little bit?
Let's see.
Like that, yeah.
And Amy, Wayne tells me it's an orange outfit.
Well, the printer doesn't print in color, but yes, it is orange.
Oh, and Amy, Wayne also tells me Glendora forgot to wear her gloves.
Yeah. And then the top of the article says, at 96, she's hosted 14,000 plus public access TV shows.
What number is this one, Amy?
I think it's 440.
I think so, yes.
And that's all I can read on that one because the rest of the print is way too small. So.
Then will you take it close to you and read it?
Oh, no, it's just the way it's printed. Even printed, it's still really small.
Even if you hold it in your own hand, you can't print. You can't read it.
No, it's really blurry and. You know, that's why we have these other printed pages over here, so we can read what it says without having to...
But this one's blurry, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll ask Wayne or somebody to... Would you be able to read the original?
Probably, yeah.
Well, it's coming in the mail, folks. So Amy will read you the original when it comes from Pittsfield, from Wayne.
All right, and then these are the other 10 pages that were printed by
You want me to hold the first one?
The first one is the title page. There you go.
Am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Okay.
bring your hands down a little bit.
Down.
Just a little bit so the camera can see the full picture.
Further?
No, just move your hands up the page a little bit.
Up?
So, yeah. Keep going. So that you're holding the page.
You want me to go up further?
Yeah. That way you're holding the paper straight. I just don't want it to bend.
Okay.
Okay, it says, a conversation with Folsom Buell, former Pittsfield TV personality and the host of A Chat with Glendora, by Jim Shulman. 14 minutes ago. And that's it.
Oh, that's it?
And at the top of the page it says, Jim Shulman Baby Boomer Memories.
The newspaper article, folks, was, as I guess you're beginning to perceive, was a whole page. The Berkshire Eagle gives Jim Shulman a whole page every Saturday because he's such a grand storyteller. And he tells about things that were in Pittsfield when he grew up in Pittsfield. The halcyon days of Pittsfield, Massachusetts, when General Electric was there. And people had jobs and there was so much money. And so much sophistication in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Do you have another page, honey?
This is the second page. Here, I'm going to move it down a little bit. There. Now hold it like that. There you go.
And another reason Pittsfield is so sophisticated is that it's next to Lee, Massachusetts, where the Boston Symphony has the Tanglewood classic music concerts every summer. And Stockbridge, Rockwell, the artists.
All right, so this page, at the top of the page, there's a picture, and if it was in color, it would be orange. And under the title of that picture, it says, Folsom Buell, a.k.a. Glendora, shoots an episode of her show, A Chat with Glendora, from her house in upstate New York in 2023. The show is the longest running program on public access TV with over 14,000 episodes since 1971. There. You gotta stop bending the page. Just like that. Okay. Now, in 1950, when our family got its first television set, Pittsfield only received one channel. It was WRGB in Schenectady, which was owned by the General Electric Company. Throughout the 1950s, there were very few weekday afternoon programs for youngsters. They were mostly nationally syndicated half-hour shows hosted by charismatic, cheerful adults. Some of the favorite hosts of baby boomers included Buffalo Bob Smith of the Howdy Doody Show, Miss Frances of Ding Dong School, and Miss Nancy of Romper Room, and Fran Allison.
Kukla, Fran, and Ollie?
That's on the next page.
Oh.
Of Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop, and Captain Kangaroo with Bob Keeshan.
Do you want this page back in the new page here? Yes?
Let's put it with these. Hold on. Let me put it down further. Wait, don't grasp it yet. Just there. Push it down a little bit more.
Push it down.
Just like that. There you go. Okay. Of Kukla, Fran and Ollie, Sherry Lewis, and Lamb Chop, and Captain Kangaroo with Bob Keeshan. What we as youngsters did not realize was that these early kiddie shows and their hosts offered much more than pure entertainment. The hosts often accompanied with marionettes or puppets, imparted words of wisdom and lessons in living that reinforced things parents wanted their children to learn. As baby boomers outgrew these shows in the 1970s, most of the programs ended and the hosts retired altogether from television. The next generation, Gen X, experienced new hosts and new shows such as Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Sesame Street. People who were born between 1946 and 1964 were labeled as baby boomers. Now in 2025, it is hard to believe that the youngest baby boomers are 60 years old, and the oldest are soon to be octogenarians. All the kiddie shows of 50 to 75 years ago are mere memories for those who can remember that far back. And I assumed all of our childhood mentors on those shows had long passed. In 2014, doing research, I discovered that the host of a local WRGB kids television show from the 1950s was not only still living, but actively involved in television in her mid-80s. This was Glendora Folsom Buell, who in 1956 on WRGB became the captain of a fictional spaceship on a 45-minute daily program called Satellite 6. Glendora shared stories and gave positive messages to the young viewers. The program also showed the Felix the Cat Show and Warner Brothers cartoons and provided Felix the Cat Club membership cards to viewers. And that's the end of that page.
Very good. How many more?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6.
A chat with Glendora.
There you go. This is the next page.
A show for living right.
Alright, this page at the top.
Glendora.
This page at the top is a blown up bigger picture of Satellite 6. And underneath that picture it says, Glendora began her TV career in 1953 at WMGT in Pittsfield from 1956 to 1963. She was on a 45-minute kiddie-oriented program called Satellite 6 on WRGB in Schenectady, portraying the captain of a fictional spaceship from which she told stories, shared lessons, and Glendora, you gotta stop bending the page. I can't read it if you bend it.
Well, tell me what to do, honey. Tell me what to do. Do I pull it?
Just keep it like that. Yeah, keep it out like that.
Keep it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Captain of a fictional spaceship from which she told stories, shared lessons, and in living and entertained youngsters with cartoons. The show had fictional characters like Glendora's nemesis, Mr. Moonemula, who made gibberish phone calls to her but never appeared. The character's name was Aluminum, spelled backward. Satellite 6 was on the air from 1956 until 1963. I learned Glendora was living in upstate New York, only 25 minutes from Pittsfield. My wife Jackie and I met her 10 years ago and were fascinated by this unique and energetic 86-year-old. All right, and that's the end of that page.
Oh, you're doing well.
And here's this one.
Wayne Collins, I wish you were here to sing the theme song that you wrote.
Go ahead. There you go. All right. This one says, I wrote an Eagle column about her background and her early TV days. Ever since our first meeting, Jackie and I speak with Glendora regularly. Every phone call begins and ends with several jokes, and we We also always learn something new in our calls. We last visited Glendora in the fall of 2023, sorry. Her apartment was a hubbub of activity with friends coming and going. She had pictures and a memorabilia covering every spot on the wall. She was seated at a table. Then we move on to the next page.
A chat with Glendora, a show for living right. A chat with Glendora makes your day so bright.
Just bring it down a little bit.
Down?
Yeah, right there. Right there's good. With a microphone and an assistant videotaping her as she was in the midst of her public access TV show called A Chat with Glendora. Glendora always dressed nicely with a shirt and a tie, and out in a smart blazer. She has 55 hats and wore a different one every day of each month. Although she lost her eyesight 5 years ago, she is in excellent health. She will be 97 in May, and she has an incredible memory of people, places, events, and dates. And at the bottom of the page, it shows a picture of you sitting next to Bob Hope. And then it says, over the years, Glendora met many celebrities, including Bob Hope, shown in this something photo. She appeared on the David Letterman show in 1987. Undated photo. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
A show for living right.
Next to these pages is questions and answers.
Really?
Yeah.
Jim Shulman is a superb interviewer. He is a consummate interviewer.
This past week, I had arranged a phone interview with her and prepared the following questions for her responses. First question. You started your public access TV program, A Chat with Glendora, back in 1971. Please share an update on how that is going. Answer. You're bending the page again. There you
How's
go.
that?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Answer. With the internet, I am able to do the half-hour programs and tape them from my home. I tell jokes, conduct interviews by phone, interact with callers, share thoughts, and even sing a hymn now and then. I have a wonderful staff and volunteers who assist me. Stephanie helps moderate programs while Amy does the videotaping and then downloads it to YouTube.
And a whole lot more.
Another assistant, Vicky, uploads the videos, adds titles, and cleans up the editing. She then sends the final product to a network of assistants who upload it to public access stations in 79 markets from Boston to San Diego. Each market airs the chat show with its own schedule. Pittsfield TV usually shows my program at 2 times 6:30 a.m. Wednesdays and something on Saturdays.
It's supposed to be 5:30, Wayne told me. It used to be at 6:30 a.m., but it's been moved back to 5:30 a.m.
11:30 a.m. on Saturdays.
Yes, that's
I do
right.
recommend readers check the times to confirm them. Second question. You began these programs in 1971 when public access television first began and have been doing them going on 54 years. That is incredible. Answer. Yes, I had the longest running continuous public access show in the country. The last program was number 14,437 in all those years. Third question. In your chats, you have interviewed some interesting people and handled these quite well. I remember seeing your interview of the president of NBC. The answer is, that was shown when I appeared as a guest on the David Letterman show in 1987. I enjoyed interacting with David. He is a good interviewer himself, but he couldn't believe I was able to interview the head of the network, whom he never had on his show.
And also Charles Doan, the owner of Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks, the New York Rangers, Radio City Music Hall,
Wow.
who started Cablevision, and really he started one of the first people to realize that you could cable TV shows into a person's home and charge them for it. And he died a billionaire. And he was on the show for you people.
Hold on, these pages are upside down.
Here's a joke, folks. A Swedish construction crew signed a contract to refurbish an apartment way up on the 4th floor. And in the late afternoon, around 5 o'clock, the foreman came around and he cupped his hands over his mouth and he said he wanted to see if they were ready to go home. And he said, "Hey, you guys finished?" And they said, "No, we're Swedish."
All right. This is the second to last page. Hold on, Glendora. You gotta bring it down here. There we go.
Is that what you want, huh?
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Next question. To what do you attribute your good health? Answer is no hospitals, no doctors, no medicines, no pills, no bills, and I am vegan. I became a vegan in 1962 after seeing farm animals in frigid weather in a stock car on a speeding train. Then and there I decided that I would strive to protect animals the rest of my life. Next question. You are like the Duracell bunny that keeps on ticking. You will turn 97 in May. Do you think you will retire from doing your programs? Answer is I plan to live until age 107 doing the things that spread happiness. I believe in the things that Dan Buettner, the researcher and writer, advocates. He found in 5 areas of the world people live longer than in other parts of the world, with a large percent of them living over 100. These areas are called blue zones. The only blue zone in this country is Loma Linda, California. The residents live longer in these communities because they follow plant-based diets without much processed food, exercise, avoid stress, avoid alcohol, and strong connections with others and their communities. In addition, I would add that a belief in God is important for longevity. The last question on the page says, I will check out more about Buettner and the Blue Zones. I always learn from you. I have known since we met that you are a spiritual person. When did you become spiritual? The answer is, as a teenager, I converted to God, and it was perfect for me back then, before I lost my sight. I attended as many as 5 churches a week, a Roman Catholic one, a Methodist one, a Seventh-day Adventist one, a Dutch Reformed one, and a born-again church. I read the Bible, but primarily certain passages, and I like to sing hymns. One of the most important passages is Romans 8:28. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and who are called according to his purpose. Next question says, you do like to make people happy and have an endless supply of cute jokes. It is remarkable how many of these jokes you recall and never repeat, and when we speak in our monthly calls. Answer, I had always wanted to be a performer and learned as a child that a good sense of humor was important. My late husband, Frank, also had a good sense of humor, and we both liked making people happy with a chuckle or two. The last question is, in closing, what joke do you have today? Answer, a famous author was interviewed on television and asked by the interviewer what was the best work of fiction he ever wrote. He thought for a few seconds and replied, "My income tax form." To see a chat with Glendora, visit achatwithglendora.com. You can write to her at achatwithglendora@gmail.com. Jim Shulman, a Pittsfield native living in Ohio, is founder of the Berkshire Carousel and the author of Berkshire Memories. A baby boomer looks back at growing up in Pittsfield. Send comments to the Berkshire Eagle at letters@berkshireeagle.com. Send column ideas about a Berkshire baby boom landmark, business, or event to jesjmskali@aol.com.
The end, Amy?
Yep.
You did a remarkable job, honey. It took so much stamina. Well, how many minutes was it?
We are at 25 minutes and 42 seconds.
Say again, dear.
25 minutes and 47 seconds.
I would also like to point out in this article that behind this article is the spirit of his wife, Jackie Shulman. She is a very sensitive and generous and kind person. She likes to do good things, and she likes to do them quietly. Behind every successful man is a proud wife and a flabbergasted mother-in-law. And I would also like to leave with you my telephone number. I would be very happy to talk to any of you. Now here it is. Again, for doing such a good job with our limited facilities, but our spirit is not limited, and the information that we give out and the inspiration, they are not limited. And here's a joke. Harry is talking to God, and Harry says, "God, how much is $1 million to you?" And God said, $10. And Harry said, "Well, how long is 1,000,000 years to you?" And God said, "A second." Harry says, "God, can I have $10? And God said, "Certainly, just a second."
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we end the video?
Yes, dear. How much time is left?
You got 30 seconds.
Oh, when all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how did you treat others. Amy, would you tell them also?
When all is said and done, the only thing that really matters is how you treat others?
Yes, will you tell them also? Grace and peace unto you, folks, from God our Father